Hey Run Junkies, what a year. School just got out this past week. I've had races, I've had technical difficulties, I've had scheduling craziness, and hopefully now that summer's here, we can kind of develop some regular routine. Yeah, right, that's not gonna happen. With school out, all bets are off. In fact, I was hoping to come into June kind of ahead of the game and have a lot of things ready for you for June, but that just didn't happen. Quite the opposite, in fact. I am flying into this month with my hair on fire, so we'll see what happens for the rest of this month. But I do want to go back a couple of weeks and just talk a little bit more about how the Ogden Half Marathon went. I was really happy with this race, and I just have a few final thoughts about it. In my race report to Coach Christine, I said in all honesty that I would change nothing about this race. I went into this feeling prepared, feeling well trained. The scenery was gorgeous from start to finish. I planned my race, I raced my plan, and not only did I beat my Prairie Dog half marathon time last year by about 5 minutes, I also set my second fastest half marathon. And if I had stuck to my original goal, which was far more aggressive than what I ended up doing, I probably would have felt very differently about this race. I may have been extremely disappointed in how this race would have gone. Changing that goal not only allowed me to run consistently throughout the entire race, but also maintain the speed goals that I had set for myself going into it. So the point that I want to make here is that sometimes we have to have, going into a race, that honest conversation with ourselves about what is a reasonable and attainable goal, but that is still a good challenge for us. This can be a very fine line to walk, and sometimes a hard conversation against our ego and our pride. But if we do that, then maybe we come out of a race having changed our plan a little bit at the beginning of the race, making sure we're challenging ourselves appropriately and not too much. It could be the difference between crossing that finish line feeling victorious or crossing that finish line having not met our goals and feeling defeated. The Another Mother Runner retreat was absolutely amazing, with some great guest speakers, some great workshops, having met new friends and seeing some old friends, and there was even some karaoke. I loved everything about that weekend, and I plan on having a full retreat recap for you on the blog at some point. But in the meantime, check out my Ogden Half Marathon race recap on GoFindYourAwesome.com. On this past Thursday, I talked quite a bit about the Boulder 10K and how my son had handled that. So if you want to see me gush quite a bit over his accomplishment for his first 10K, check out this video right here. And finally, I bit the bullet and signed up for the Slacker Half Marathon. This one has been on my bucket list for a while. I'm finally going to strike that one off the list. Unfortunately, for the last few years, I've had something else going on. Either I've been teaching scuba or traveling or doing another race, or something else has been going on that weekend. So I'm glad I finally get to do this race. That is coming up on June 23rd. So what is the Slacker Half Marathon exactly? Well, this race begins at about 10,000 feet at Loveland Ski Area and descends to about 8,000 feet to Georgetown, Colorado. Now this also means that I got my June training plan from Coach Christine, and we're basically building on what I had accomplished with Ogden. We're using that as a springboard for Slacker Half Marathon. This is a downhill race, and the elevation profile for Slacker is a little bit different than the Ogden Half Marathon. So you have a net elevation loss for Slacker at about 2,100 feet, where Ogden didn't have quite as much, and a lot of the elevation loss for Ogden happened in the last 8 miles. So it's a little different in terms of profile. The other big challenge about Slacker Half Marathon is that it starts at 10,000 feet, which, even though I live at the mile-high city of Denver at about 5,000 feet, going up to 10,000 may have some negative effects. We'll see what happens. But speaking of altitude, on Tuesday, I am going to be talking about how altitude affects our training and our race day. So please subscribe if you haven't already to check that out. And next week, I will fill you in on how my Runner's World strength training program from the Star Wars event guide went. It's actually been very effective, and I'll go into detail about that in next weekend's update. My question for you today is this: do you have any fun summer racing plans, or are you gonna do some cross training, take a break from running during the hot summer months? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions in the comment section down below. And as always, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Again, don't forget to subscribe for more great stuff from Running with Grace. That's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go find your awesome. Until next time, happy running.